my favorite MAC products of all time. And I'm so excited to share these with you because I've never really done a video just dedicated to MAC products. And I feel like over the past few years, as I've, my collection of MAC products has really grown a lot. So I've gotten to try out a lot of new things and I'm really excited to share them with you guys. So the first product I'm gonna talk about are MAC lipsticks. I have a few shades, 3 shades to be exact, that I absolutely adore and I just love them so much. The one I'm gonna talk about first is my absolute favorite, which is the shade I'm wearing on my lips, which is Syrup. And this is part of their Luster line of lipsticks and I just love it. I'm looking at myself because the color is so perfect. I mean, it's perfect for every day. You can wear it out. Like, it doesn't matter. You can't go wrong. And it does have a little bit of a sheen to it, but I think that just adds to the beauty of this lipstick. I love it so much. And then other lipsticks that I love from MAC, Angel is one of my favorites and it's just a really neutral pink. And I also like Cream Cup. Now these are very, very similar. Cream Cup is a little bit lighter, but other than that, and I think a little more like nude toned, whereas Angel has a little bit more color to it, but they're both absolutely beautiful, very, very similar. I don't think you need both. I think they're so close that I kind of wish I had one or the other, and I think if I picked my favorite out of the two, I'd pick Angel, because it does have just a little bit more. But out of all my MAC lipsticks, Syrup is my favorite, 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 favorite. I love it. Another favorite of mine are their blushes, and I picked my favorite 2 that I have. One of my favorites is Dame, and it's just a beautiful light pink. And if you're fair skinned like me, you'd like this. I think if you have a deeper skin tone, I think you'll still like it. I'm not sure how it would show up because it is a satin one, but it's not quite as glowy, so I don't know if it would show up as well, but it's so beautiful. But my ultimate favorite is MAC's Full of Joy, and this one looks amazing on all skin tones. I'm wearing it today, and it has like a little bit of a sheen to it, you can kind of see. And it's just this beautiful, like, almost lilac or lavender pink. And it's just so glowy. It's hard to see in that swatch. It's so glowy and beautiful on its own. And it's a frost blush. And I think that is obviously why it's got that almost frosty look to it. But I love this year round. I think it is gorgeous. Every time I wear it, I get so many compliments on it. And I just love the way it looks on my skin. And these blushes last all day. I never have to reapply them. Even without a primer or anything like that, I just don't ever have to reapply them. Speaking of powders in the MAC realm of things, I love my MAC mineralized skin finishes. I have a natural one and then just one of their like actual mineralized skin finishes. I have it in the shade medium, which I thought might be too dark, but it's really not because it's not like it goes on crazy cakey or anything like that. But what I like about it, and I'm wearing it today, is it mattifies, but it still lets your skin breathe. And that is one thing that it's hard to find in a powder, and this one I really, really like. Now, I don't use it every day. I usually opt for my Rimmel Stay Matte. So if you're thinking about getting this, but it's kind of a high price point for you, just get the Rimmel Stay Matte. I really like that, and frankly, I think I like it better. But I do like this one. I've tried the MAC Studio Fix powder. I don't really like that. I like this a lot better. But the Rimmel Stay Matte's really good. Okay, and the other mineralized skin finish I have is the classic one in Soft and Gentle. I'm also wearing this today. What I love about it is that it's still shimmery. I mean, there's no way around that. It's certainly shimmery and I don't know, but it doesn't have glitter in it. So your face doesn't look glittery at all. It's just shimmery. And what I love about it is, again, it stays on all day. You can wear it during the day and it doesn't look crazy. Now, you can get a little crazy with it, but even with a medium hand, it still doesn't look crazy. I really like the way it looks. I typically keep it just kind of like above my blush, not like all the way up here, or anything, but just in this region, and I really like the way that it looks on my skin. I just think it's gorgeous. I get why it's a big cult classic. So love that, one of my favorite highlights of all time. My next one is their eyeshadow. I picked, out of all my MAC shadows, I picked my favorite 5, and it was really hard, but I thought, I could show every single shadow I have, and I absolutely love all of them, but there are 5 that I wear all the time, so I figured those would be worth showing you and a little more worth your while. So 2 that I have in a duo that I've traveled with a lot, which by the way, they're like duos and quads, and they're like 15 pan palettes, are really inexpensive. I thought they'd be expensive. They're really not. And it's great for traveling, especially if you buy them in the refill pan. This is the shade Rice Paper, and it's this gorgeous pale yellow. I love wearing it on my lid and even on my brow bone. It has a slight shimmer to it, but it's not too crazy. And the fact that it's a pale yellow makes it not come across as stark like a stark white would. So that's what I love about it, and it blends together so beautifully. And again, that's another shade that when I'm wearing this, I always get asked what I'm wearing on my eyes, and it's usually this. I also love Omega, and this is like this light, almost taupe gray color, and it's the most beautiful buffer color between like your brow bone and your lid, you know, just to kind of fill in that crease area, and then you can use something darker in the true crease, but it's just a beautiful buffer color. Oh, I love it so much. It's just one of my go-tos for that. Then my three others, this is a new one for me. It's called Floof, and it's this beautiful, almost pinkish white color. I mean, it's more white than anything, but it's got this like silvery metallic pinkish tone to it, to me, at least on my skin tone, and it's just very stark. So if you don't like that stark white color, you probably won't love this, but it blends beautifully, and sometimes I'll blend Rice Paper and Floof together, and that's what I did today on my lid, and I really like it. It can kind of mute itself out just a little bit, but it's still shimmery and nice. So I really like Floof, especially if you want something super bright like that. Okay, this is one of my all-time favorites, and it's in the shade Patina, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a goldish, bronzy taupe color, and it's so beautiful in the crease. And again, it works as like all over, and that's what I did today. I didn't use Omega, I used Patina, and I just like the way it looks with my skin tone. I love the way it wears throughout the day. It blends out absolutely gorgeously. I just love it. I can't stop using this. Every day I'm trying to branch out and use something different, and I still reach for Patina because that's all I want to use. I mean, really. And my last shadow favorite is Wedge. And again, this is a beautiful crease color. It's a little darker than Omega and a little more brown tone, but I like to use it kind of more in my outer crease, and that's what I used today as well. It's beautiful. And it doesn't pull too red or anything, which is what I find. Like, I've got soft brown. It's a beautiful color, but on me it looks really, really reddish, and I don't really like that on my skin, so I don't use it as much. I use Wedge a lot more. So if you've tried soft brown and you felt that it was too red, try Wedge, because it's a beautiful, similar tone, maybe a little bit lighter, but it's not red at all. Another favorite are their lip liners, and I have three favorites from them, and they're all very different. The one I'm wearing today under Syrup is Dervish, which is funny to me because that's a nickname I have from some friends, the Derv and Dervish and Dervalicious. It's a long story behind it, but it's just funny to me that that's what it's called. And it's just this beautiful kind of rosy mauve lip liner, and I just like it, especially for every day. It just really will hold on to any lipstick you put on top of it, which I like, and of course it helps with the bleeding of any lipstick. So I love that color just for every day. And then for some kind of like whoa colors, I've got Magenta, which I got at a CCO, which is a cosmetics company outlet. You can find it like outlet stores, and they sell MAC products for really cheap. And this is where I got Magenta, and it's this beautiful, true magenta color. Again, you could even wear this, like color your lips in with it and wear it under a more nude color, and it makes a really cool mixture on your lips. I've done that a few times in videos, but I just like it, and it's also great, of course, under these stark purplish or dark red tones, just to kind of cool it down a little bit. And then the other lip liner favorite is Beat. And this one is my go-to under any red lipstick because it is a little bit more blue toned, like a true beet would be, the vegetable or fruit. Vegetable, right? I don't know. It's a little more blue toned, which I like because on me, like a brick red doesn't quite look as good with my skin tone. So I always opt for a more blue tone, and knowing that I have some brick red colors, this kind of cools those brick reds down to a more blue tone. I love it. I love this lip liner. Another favorite is my MAC Fix Plus. This is the only one I've owned. It's the small one. I don't use it every single day, which is why I didn't want to spend for the big one. And I would recommend that for you as well if you don't know if you'll like this or how it will work with your skin or if it'll break you out. Opt for the smaller one. It's a lot more inexpensive and it's still gonna last a long time, the same nozzle and everything. So plus you can travel with it, which I really like. I think honestly if I run out of this, I might still buy the smaller size so that I can travel with it. Anyway, but I love it because you can mist it. I didn't wear it today, but you can mist it all over your face, especially in the winter when your skin gets cracked and dry. This helps to kind of just meld everything together beautifully. You can spray a ton and just let it dry, and it just holds onto your makeup. It helps it stay there all day, but it also helps it kind of blend together. Any dry patches, it helps. I mean, it's really, honestly, I want to say this is between $10 and $15, and it's well worth the money because it does a beautiful job of that. I love it in the winter. Plus, it adds like a dewiness to your skin if you feel that you've over mattified your face. Say you put too much powder on or the foundation's really matte. That helps to kind of add some life back into your face, which I love. Another holy grail product for me is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Ladies, this is worth every penny. I'm wearing it today. I finally got it in the right shade, NC15. I had it in NC20. It was way too orange and way too dark for me. But NC15 seems to be working perfectly. I not only put it right here, but I end up doing kind of that V shape, if you will, all the way out, because it adds almost a natural highlight to your skin without having to put a shimmery highlight on it, because it's lighter than your skin tone. This blends out beautifully. I use my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I do that with my foundation, and then I use the same brush for my concealer, and I just love the way it looks. It doesn't look weird by the end of the day. It looks just like it did. It's very brightening, but not like overly bright where you look weird in normal lighting, you know, like indoors. I'm thinking of at work. I just think it's beautiful. I really do. The only downside is because it's a pump, you can't control how much comes out. So one pump is enough for like 2 to 3 days of application. So sometimes I'll use like a little lid, like a travel thing, and I'll use the lid in it and squirt it in, and then I'll use that for the next like 3 days. But I wish that weren't the case, because when I travel with it, which I almost always bring this with me when I travel, because it's my favorite, it's just tricky because of that pump. So that is a downside. I wish it was more controlled. If I ruled the world, that's how that would be. Okay, so my next favorite are MAC paint pots, and I have a ton of these, but I just narrowed it down to my favorite 3 because I realized, I'm like, gosh, yes, I have a lot of these, but I really only use these 3. They are my favorite. I mean, I use the others, but you guys know what I mean. So the very first one I ever got was Bare Study, and I fell in love with it day one, and I still love it today. It's this beautiful, like, kind of light champagne color, and for my skin tone, it works really well. I can use it all over and then put shadow on top. This one I don't like to wear on its own because I don't think it, I don't know, it does all right on its own, but it's not like much, but it's beautiful under shadow, and it really holds on to it all day. The other one, this is a more recent one for me, but I love it, and it reminds me of Benefit's RSVP cream shadow, which is one of my favorites. And it's called Vintage Selection, and it's kind of a more grayish champagne color. And this one has actual glitter in it, which I don't love, but it's just so beautiful it doesn't matter. And the glitter doesn't go anywhere, so that's fine. Now, if the glitter was falling all over the place, that would be a very different story. I wouldn't like it, but it's so beautiful. I'm wearing it under my shadow today, although I have other shadows on top of it, so it's not as obvious, but I just think it's gorgeous, and this one is beautiful on its own. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then the last one, the last paint pot I want to mention is Painterly. This one I was nervous would be a little dark for my skin tone, so it wouldn't. This is like a matte nude color, at least nude for my skin tone. And you use it all over, and it completely like covers, almost like concealer, any veining or discoloration you have, so that way any shadow you put on top of it is purely the color it's supposed to be, which is amazing. This is gorgeous. I'd had one from Sigma that was similar, and it was just a little bit too orange almost for my skin tone, so it was weird. You could like see the delineations no matter how much I blended it out, but this one matches perfectly. So, oh my gosh, I love it. I was so excited to get this because it's perfect. The last category I'm gonna talk about are brushes, and these are my favorites. The first one I'm gonna mention is probably my ultimate favorite brush, and it's the MAC 266 brush. It is I use it as an eyeliner brush for cream liner. Now I've tried so many angled brushes for cream and gel liner, and this is the best. It does the best at flicking for like a little bit of a wing, which I have today, like a little bit of one. It gives you exactly what you want. It doesn't go all over the place. It doesn't get weird the more you use it, because other ones I've tried, Sedona Lace, Sigma, Diva, all of them, they're good, but not as good as this one. So in the realm of angled brushes, this is worth every penny. If you're gonna buy one brush and you've been looking for an angled brush that's not gonna get all messed up and then screw up your line, get this, it's worth it. Oh my gosh, worth every penny. The other ones are eyeshadow brushes. MAC 224, I really, really like this for getting just tons of color in my crease, just all the way up to there, just all of it. It's what I use every single day. I love to use this with my Patina eyeshadow, with Omega, with any of those where it doesn't need to be precise. This is also great for blending all your shadows together because it's fluffier and it's bigger, and I just think it's wonderful. I do, however, think that the Sigma one, I can't think of the number, but the Sigma one that's like this is just as good. I mean, this is great, but I think you can also find cheaper alternatives, so it's kind of up to you. These are amazing. This is the MAC 217, and then this is the MAC 239. They're, one is just, they're very similar, but the 239 is shorter and denser. I use the 239 to pack on lid shadow. I think it's great. It also works very well with cream shadow, which is hard to find a brush that does well with that, and I think this does a great job. And then the MAC 217, even though it is kind of fluffy and it's not as dense, I like to use it to put a darker color on the outside of my crease. Especially if it's not so dark that it, you know, it doesn't have to be perfectly precise. I use this with Wedge a lot, just to wedge it in my outer corner. But I really, really like it a lot. And I don't really have a brush that's exactly this shape. I have one similar, but not quite the same, and I really like this one. So I always buy my MAC products from Nordstrom.com just because I've had some bad experiences with ordering from the MAC website a few times, so I just have a bad taste in my mouth about it. I've always ordered them through Nordstrom because it's free shipping all the time, which I think MAC is too, but it's always free shipping even if you only buy like one small thing, even if you buy just one shadow, it's still free shipping. It's always quick shipping, and I just have always had a good experience. And they're on eBags, and right now eBags is doing like a double cash back, and they do that a lot, especially before the holidays, but right now they're doing it, and ULTA is double percent cash back, Sephora is, I think they're like now 8% cash back. So anytime you're ordering online, I'm just, like, when I order online, I'm literally getting paid to do it. It's awesome. So Nordstrom is on that list as well, so I'm getting cash back when I order my MAC products on there, which is why I do it. But eBags and I collaborate a lot, and they were willing to do a giveaway for you guys on my channel with this video. So I chose for 4 winners to receive the MAC Syrup Lipstick, because you guys know I love it. So 4 people will receive this as a prize, and the grand prize winner will receive a MAC Keepsakes little brush kit seen here, and it's all white and it's cute and it's got the little case. I just thought it was great, and I love MAC brushes as well. The winner for the giveaway will be chosen from people that sign up through my link between now and December 1st, and also by either choosing one of my social media. So either subscribing to me here on YouTube or on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. One of those 4. And then just for fun, comment below and let me know what some of your favorite MAC products are, and maybe ones you think I should try out, because I love learning about new ones, especially if I didn't mention it on here. Because I mean, there's certainly plenty of products I haven't tried. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys and you learned a thing or two about what to try and maybe what not to try. And I'll catch you guys very soon. Bye.